country. I'm going to shift a little bit because I wanted to clarify a remark that my friend Mr. Angus made when he asked you a question about the fund set up for by the previous government regarding Jordan's principle. And you started to answer the question saying that the fund was no longer there, but it was removed as a result of deficit cutbacks. And that was in what year?
2012.
Okay, so it was put in by the previous government and cut by the previous government, just to make that clear, because I like the facts, and I think the facts are important.
I think the fund has been created in 2008.
2008, but it was cut
Eliminated
back in
2012.
2012,
Yes.
okay. Another thing, the Auditor General's, I'm going to switch gears again on you, and I know I only have 5 minutes, but the Auditor General's 2015 audit found that only 1 in 45 nurses examined had completed all 5 of Health Canada's mandatory training courses. The audit recommended that Canada should ensure that its nurses working in remote First Nation communities successfully complete the mandatory training courses specified by the department. In its response to the recommendation, Health Canada notes that significant vacancies and turnover rates for nurses has made it a challenge to meet the training course requirements. Why are the mandatory training courses not provided prior to the assignment of nurses to First Nation communities?
Excellent question. Since the OAG report, we have made some progress, and Leila can give you some of the progress for each of the course. These are the 5 mandatory courses that were identified by Health Canada in order to make sure we prepare the nurse properly for the work that they will have to perform in remote and isolated community. The plan is to train nurse when they come in, and this is what we do before we send nurse in the field. There is a week or 2 of intensive training, onboarding to prepare them for the work, to make sure that they meet the mandatory requirement. One of the challenge and the relationship with vacancy is the renewal of the training. After 2 years, the nurse needs to go through the training for recertification. And when we were facing, and we are still facing, a certain level of vacancy in some area, it's difficult to take out a nurse in a need where there's a need for having nurses and send them for 2 weeks in training at the time. So this is where we got behind in terms of training. Our vacancy rate in the last 2 years went from around 35% down to 16% now. So we have made some progress, and all these nurses that are coming in needs to be trained. The fact that they work part-time or full-time are trained the same way. Maybe, Leila, you can give us some results in terms of training compliance for each of the programs.
Sure. Of the 5, we do have 5 mandatory courses that are identified, and they are provided as part of the onboarding program. It is the recertification that affects, I think, statistics in regards. We have improved the rates to 55% of all nurses who are working in the field, and our goal by the end of this fiscal year is still 100%. That is the goal that we have set for our employees. So I don't know if you want it specifically. The courses are advanced cardiac life support, pediatric advanced life support, international trauma life support, the controlled drugs and substances to handle controlled substances, as well as immunization. So it's the combination of all of those being active and active certifications that we are monitoring with all employees.
Okay, thank you. Thanks very much.